As many of you already know, the FJ Cruiser comes with not one but two glove compartments. There's one in the traditional location down here, and then you have a second one right up here above the steering column. I want to show you guys one of the ways I use this glove compartment, and that is to hold my phone while I'm driving. So I'll have it here like so, and once the lid is down, I find that it holds the phone pretty much perfectly in place without slipping. So I found that this was my preferred location to keep my phone. And so I had to figure out a way to charge my phone while in this position. Initially, I did install a dual USB port here in this location, and I had a cable which plugged into the USB here and reached up to my phone here. But I wanted to figure out a way where it looked a lot cleaner, so I decided to place a USB port inside of the glove box. So in order to remove this glove compartment, you're going to need to remove two screws first. You can see one right there, and the other one is right over here. So let's go ahead and remove those. Now this USB port is inserted through the front and it's tightened in the back. So in order to access the back, you're going to have to remove the stereo and reach around and tighten up this ring right behind this unit here. Removing the stereo requires you to remove two screws, one on the bottom over here and the other on the bottom on this side. There it is, right there. Once those two screws are removed, you're going to remove the two trim pieces on either side. Just going to pull it out with a gentle tug. Next, a couple more Phillips screws on either side to be removed, and then the faceplate comes out. Now, even though I have this Android head unit, the instructions are practically the same for the other head units out there, including the stock one. Once the two screws are out, you're going to grab with two hands, one hand on this hinge, the other hand on this hinge, and you're going to pull simultaneously with both hands, and this glove box will come right out like so. Here's the wiring for the USB port. Basically one positive, one negative. The red goes to the power in the fuse box, and the black goes to a ground on the car's chassis. So essentially one will get plugged into the positive and one will get plugged into the negative, and it's secured on the back end by this little this ring here. So that explains why I had to take apart the stereo so that I can reach behind with my hand and secure the USB with this little ring here. So this mod does require a little bit of elbow grease. You can see here that in order for me to fit that USB port through the hole that I've drilled here, so I was able to drill this hole just a little bit left of the clip here. So you can see that this USB port goes straight through the hole, and this ring is going to tighten up on the back side of here. One thing I did have to do was that I had to take a Dremel, and I had to remove some of the plastic here in order to have this ring sit completely flush up against this plastic here. Now, since we're talking about the Dremel, I did have to take a Dremel and shave off some plastic inside of the compartment here. There's a little piece of plastic that kind of goes this way. I did take a Dremel and I shaved off, sort of in a circular pattern, a little bit of the plastic there, so that once the glove compartment is reinserted, the USB could get inserted this way and clear this plastic. So before I put the glove compartment back, I'm just going to feed the wires through the tightening ring here. And then of course I'm going to place the glove compartment back in place, feed these wires through the hole, and then plug it into the USB's positive and negative before tightening it up. Okay, so I've inserted my positive and negative to the USB here, and now I'm just going to gently push it into place, and then I will then reach from behind and tighten it using the tightening screw from the back through here. And there it is, all in place. Just gotta flip the switch and it is on. Now obviously you don't have to plug this into the always on position. You can do it in the ACC position, so when the car turns on, the port turns on, but I don't always use this, so I like to have the option to turn it on and off as I please. And also, like I said before, I like to have the option to charge my devices while the car is off. So right now I've got the key out of the ignition, but I can still activate the charging port. A lot of you might be wondering why I decided to install this on the right side of the glove compartment as opposed to the left side. Well, once you get this thing open, you'll notice that there actually is a ton of clearance on this side, which doesn't require you to shave off the plastic with a Dremel like I did, just to kind of get this inserted and to clear the plastic. Well, the reason why I did it on the right side was because on the left side here, the Phillips screw goes in right here on the side, whereas the other Phillips screw goes here on the front. So there is no screw here that will impede the path of the USB port. You can probably opt to do it under any of these parts here. There's a lot of clearance there, but you know, I wanted to have it on the side here. You can put it anywhere down here, it should be fine. So here's what it looks like when I'm charging my phone. I've got the USB in there, got the charging port here, put my phone down, plug it in, and then hit the switch and you're charging. So it's a lot cleaner looking. There's no wires sort of hanging out, just sort of getting in the way of, let's say, your turn signals here. Everything tucks away nice and neat, so it's hidden away. You know, I can keep this phone in here, I can close the glove compartment, and I can have my phone hidden away nice and clean.